Hey everyone, so I'm here to talk about the organic no-till farming revolution, high production methods for small-scale farmers by the amazing Andrew Mefferd. So, my garden journey started with Lynn Basinski's Flower Farmer book, and she's the one who started the Growing for Market magazine that Andrew took over. So, I did a great interview with Andrew that you are just going to love to listen to. And it's not just for farmers. He talks a lot about what home gardeners can do and about the difference between the roller crimper method and other no-till methods, and just like the different people he interviews in the book. He talks to 17 different farmers. They're all kind of doing different things, and like the possibilities are just endless. And I love this quote here is what I was looking for. We definitely have our problems, but our crops are really nutrient dense, really flavorful. The difference in the quality of the crops on all levels, as far as taste and aesthetics, is noticeable and noted by our customers. I don't know exactly what's happening underneath that straw, but I know it's good and I know it works. And so, look at that sweet picture. So, and Bear Mountain Farm. So here's Denise and Tony Gates, who I interviewed, and I'll try to replay their interview. They were like guests, I think like 100 or 101 or 102 from New Year's Day, my very first year. So that had been New Year's going into 2016, I think, right? And they talk about getting started in no-till with the flower business back in 2003 with a tractor and tilling, and it worked okay for a couple of years, but then the quality of the plants began to decline. The insect pressure began to go through the roof. Insect pressure, ways to get rid of insects. We had a lot more plant diseases. We were getting things planted later and later because we couldn't get it into till because the water wasn't draining correctly. The big tractor tiller and even the smaller rototiller created a super hard pan under our beds. So you'll learn the solutions that they put in place. And just, I totally think this is one of, like, if you were going to have 5 garden books, you're going to want to have this one on your shelf that Andrew Mefferd has written. And so not only is he going to give a copy, the publishers have offered a copy to our to the Organic Gardener podcast listeners, to one of our lucky listeners, but he will give a 20% discount if you get it on his website. And I can't talk about it enough, how much value you will get from reading all these different stories and ideas that you can put in place in your bed. And I know my mom was like, what home gardener is going to care about cover crops? But I loved growing buckwheat last year. It was so fun. The flowers are so pretty. There's more buckwheat coming up this year, so more flowers for the bees, and just knowing that it's growing good soil. So we all know on my show, everybody talks about soil. So Andrew's going to talk about the difference between solarization, oculation, how the different farmers, some would do one process and then do another process, like once they got their farm started, or if they were transitioning, and then they would do another process later on once they had changed their soils. But I just think you are going to be loving this book, loving the interview. He talks about what does a tilther do. He interviews just some great farmers that will inspire you and help you see. Oh yeah, so I wanted to read the back cover. I think this is much better. Learn how to use natural no-till systems to increase profitability, efficiency, carbon sequestration, and soil health on your small farm. Any farmer looking to reduce or eliminate tillage will find fresh ideas in these pages, says Ben Hartman, author of The Lean Farm and The Lean Farm Guide to Growing Vegetables. Farming without tilling has long been a goal of agriculture, yet tilling remains one of the most dominant paradigms. Almost everyone does it, but tilling kills beneficial soil life, burns up organic matter, and releases carbon dioxide. If the ground could instead be prepared for planting without tilling, time and energy could be saved, soil organic matter increased, carbon sequestered, and dependence on machinery reduced. Andrew Mefferd, editor of Growing for Market magazine, offers a comprehensive farmer-developed roadmap showing how Andrew Mefferd, editor of Growing for Market magazine, offers a comprehensive farmer-developed roadmap showing how no-till lowers barriers to starting a small farm, reduces greenhouse gas emissions, increases efficiency and profitability, and promotes soil health. This hands-on manual offers Reasons why roller kimper no-till methods don't work for most small farms. A decision-making framework for the 4 no-till methods: oculation, solarization, organic mulches grown in place and multiplied to soil. Ideas for starting a no-till farm or transitioning a working farm, and a list of tools, supplies, and sources. This is the only manual of its kind specifically written for natural and small-scale farmers and home gardeners, I know you're going to love it, who wish to expand and explore chemical-free regenerative farming methods. And when Andrew and I are talking, another thing he mentions is that you can just try it in like one little part of your farm, and if you like it, or your garden, you can expand it. Like you can do this in a very small space. If you weren't already convinced about the many benefits of organic farming, this thoughtfully written book will undoubtedly persuade you, says Aaron Benzinkian, author of Floret Farm's Cut Flower Garden and the amazing Floret blog. Mefferd's new book shares a wealth of inspiring stories of innovative, small-scale organic growers who have successfully overcome these challenges to reap the benefits of organic no-till on farm and in community, says Laura Langnick, who wrote Resilient Agriculture, and I got to meet at the first Aero workshop I ever went to. So again, Andrew Mefferd is editor of Growing for Market magazine. He spent 15 years working on farms, including a year working on a no-till research farm, 7 years in the research department at Johnny Select Seeds. He consults widely with researchers and farmers on the best greenhouse growing practices, and is the author of the Greenhouse and Hoop House Growers Handbook. And he lives in farms in Cornville, Maine. And so I know you're just going to love this interview I did with him, and I just wanted to put this little extra introduction about the actual book that he sent me a copy, and he's going to give one away to a winner. So here we go. I think you're going to love our episode.